Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Armour campus. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Robin King, the Director of Admissions here, and I would also like to point out Micah Weaver. She is our Admissions and Enrollment Coordinator at the sign-in sheet. And also like to introduce you to the principal of our middle school and our high school. It is Dr. Maritza Paul. Please wave your hand. Oh, and Marie Beach is our VP. She's not here. She's literally at an event at a workshop, learning, bringing it back to us. That's what we do. And then speaking of learning, well, first of all, let me tell you the agenda, and then I will hand it over to our presenters. Our agenda, we're going to go over overview of Armour, part of our IB programs and things that we have to offer for you. As well as after that, we're going to have a panel discussion with students, teachers, as well as parents that we have here. We're going to have a panel discussion. So there is a Q&A, questions that you have, ask them at this point so we can get them answered for you. And also, and then after that, we will have a tour of Armour. And so some of our tour guides, our students, are going to show you around our building. Also, I would like to mention, I'll mention this first. Yesterday, we sent out re-enrollment. So those that are here, that are current AL students, re-enrollment is now available for you up until February 19th. So then we can get ready for the lottery and offer out those seats that we have available. All right, so I'm going to pass it on to our presentation for tonight. It is Katie Wilson, our IB program coordinator. Wave to the crowd. And then Liz Seeley, our college and career counsel. All right, ladies, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. So we're going to talk kind of broadly about our programs, and then there'll be an opportunity for you to ask questions about our school, and then, of course, there'll be time for you to ask questions to the students and parents themselves. Okay, well, welcome. So you've heard, we are an IB World School at the Armour campus, and you know that means that we are part of a network of schools, of international schools throughout the world. And the IB, the International Baccalaureate Organization, started in 1963 with the whole goal of developing a network of schools where there would be a like experience for students around the globe. And so eventually it trickled from Switzerland to many other countries, and now in the United States. And if you look at that graph, you can see that the United States takes up 45% of the IB World Schools. So it's grown quite a bit in the US. We are one of 14 schools in Missouri, and there's about 11 different IB World Schools in the Kansas City metro area. So the big question always is, what is an IB education? And of course they have a mission, and ultimately their motto is, it's education for a better world. And so, and so it fits well, their mission to empower young people to be globally minded and to interact and increase peace in the world fits well with the AL mission. But the question always is, how can a school help reach such a lofty goal? And ultimately, it's part of almost every little piece that our school has planned as it decided to become an IB World School and then open a high school from the middle school to the high school. So it's really accomplished through this term that they've coined, international mindedness. And it too is very broad, but there's really three key pieces to it. There's this IB learner profile that is at the center of what we hope to instill in our students, in their activities, in their educations, and also the characteristics we represent as their leaders and teachers in the school. It's also a respect and appreciation for other languages, which you know that's part of, from the very beginning, when you joined the Academy Lafayette community, that you're joining in providing your students a language emphasized education. And then there's also the piece that kind of seeps into the curriculum beyond just language learning, but really helping them see how the things that they're learning are connected throughout the globe. So this is that IB learner profile. Just today at the high school, we had an assembly. We have, what, twice a year? 2 times a year, where we celebrate these characteristics by recognizing them in each other. This is also something that our middle schoolers, if you have middle schoolers, you know they had character assembly last week, and they're having them at 7th grade and 8th grade, where we're really celebrating these characteristics and talking about what they look like in the classroom and in the classroom and outside the classroom as well. So this is kind of a quick breakdown of language learning at the Armour campus. So you come to 6th grade, you're continuing that French immersion, and that continues through 7th and 8th grade. But also in 6th grade, our students had the choice, or actually in 6th grade, our students get to explore both Spanish and Mandarin as an option. In 7th grade, they decide which of those 2 languages they would like to commit to for at least the next, one, I think out here, 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Some of our high school students have chosen, they started Mandarin in Armour, and they have finished the IB diploma program with Mandarin in addition to their study of French. We have many students who choose to study both languages all throughout high school. 3 if you're counting English, of course. And then, so in the high school, there are a few more options. Not everyone may choose to continue Mandarin and Spanish all the way through, but everybody is studying a language. And that's kind of a key piece to an IB education. Of course, in learning the language, there's also interacting with the cultures and learning to appreciate those cultures. So this is a quick highlight of the trips that we currently have. Of course, you may be familiar with the 7th grade Paris trip, the French trip, and family stay. At the high school, last year we had students travel to Costa Rica. This year we have a group going to China. We had a group travel to Senegal last summer, and they're preparing for this summer. And I was just talking to a teacher yesterday who's gauging student interest in going to Peru the following year. Here are some highlights for these trips. Anything to add? So also a key piece to an Ivy World school is one of those profile traits was being balanced, open-minded, and part of the way in which we help our students become such is through CAS. And it's been at the heart of our diploma program, where all of our 11th and 12th graders are required to participate, or our diploma program seekers are required to participate in creativity, activity, and service. And we track their progress in those activities and such. But at the heart of what makes the community of our school, we have these things happening starting in 6th grade. So this is a highlight of the activities, the clubs, the sports that are offered at Armour. Service is a key piece to the IB World School identity, in the sense that we can't build a peaceful world if we aren't working within the communities and learning how to interact with a variety of people.
One thing I'll add about the CAS experience and this, particularly the after school and during the day clubs that we have for students, is that we really think involvement with student activities is important. Middle through high school, particularly at the high school level, however, because that's where you're really honing in on your interests. You are building your resume that you will use eventually to apply to college. And so we incorporate clubs during our school day in high school. So on Tuesdays, students have the opportunity to go to 2 different club meetings in the afternoon. So you might have a student who goes to chess club and then Model United Nations on a particular Tuesday. And so that's really wonderful that we've been able to incorporate that, and students have really enjoyed it. So we take looking at the whole student, not just their academics, but how their extracurriculars play into that, and build our schedule around those priorities.
Here are some highlights from this year's our high school cross country team, boys basketball team, girls volleyball team, Model UN, who's competed successfully with schools all over the metro, debate as well. Some champions right there, front and center. And so the middle years program is what all of our students who join us in 6th grade are automatically IB students, middle years program students, and they continue to be through 10th grade. So all of the curriculum that our teachers develop is developed through global contexts, and that's what helps expand that international mindedness. So even when you're learning in math and science, you're still looking at topics through a global lens. And our teachers attend workshops to help them build curriculum that is meaningful in that way. We have their approaches to teaching and learning skills that help our students learn how to learn in all different subjects. They're not subject specific. And you'll find that our middle years program students get direct instruction in these skills, and then they're also evaluated by their teachers in their progress reports and the report cards so that you can monitor growth in these areas. There's the 8th grade community project that our students work on for a half of their 8th grade year, and that is where those ATL skills are really important. Kids have to have some in order to work independently and collaborate with a classmate and interact with the community and find something meaningful to build together and to do within the community. And then when those students become 10th graders, they work individually on the personal project. And that at that point too, these are self-directed individual projects that students pick for themselves. And again, those ATL skills that they've been building along the way, these approaches to learning skills, are allowing them to pick a project that's important to them, decide what learning goal, what they want to learn and what's their goal in that learning, and decide how they're going to demonstrate that goal. That goal. We just had an exhibition of our students' projects, was that last week before last? And so every 10th grader had their moment in time where they shared with the rest of our school community during the day their project. And students in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, as well as 9th and 10th grade, or 9th and 11th and 12th grade, and our teachers got to come interact with the students and hear what they had learned and find out, see those products that they built and really get to showcase their learning. So that personal project is the culminating piece to the MYP. And our students who complete 6 through 10 and complete that personal project and pass the project, because it gets moderated, it gets scored and moderated by the IB organization. The students who pass that project then earn the MYP certificate. The MYP is also what is leading students. Oh, here's those ATL skills I was talking about. These are kind of those soft skills that we all want all of our kids and all the people we work with to have. These are the things that are essential to being self-regulated learners and just effective individuals. So as I was saying that, I actually lost my train of thought. I wanted to say one more thing about the MYP. Well, ultimately, the MYP is what's leading to the more well-known program in the IB, which is the diploma program. So when I mentioned there are 14 IB World Schools in Missouri, and that there are 11 in the metro, the majority of those are diploma programs. So those are schools that just have the IB in 11th and 12th grade, and they're just for a select group of students. What's different in our school is all of our students are IB students in the MYP, but also in the diploma program. The way that we've organized it has allowed students to have choice and also consider themselves IB diploma students. So here's a typical 6th grade schedule. I know this may be particularly interesting to 5th grade families. So this is built between 2 semesters. So much like you've experienced in the elementary school, French language arts and English language arts get equal amounts of attention. Of course, social studies, math, science, the majority of these classes are taught in French. And then we introduce Mandarin and Spanish. Another key component that's different to the middle years program is the idea that our students learn design thinking skills. And that starts in 6th grade and continues all through 10th grade, that students interact with the design cycle. They learn what it is. They learn how to participate in it, and they learn how, like in the personal project, they learn how to take themselves through it individually on their own and regulate their the skills they need to learn, and they learn how to learn what they need to learn on their own. Ultimately, there's a lot of they really have to be motivated to do the project, and once they have that motivation, because they've been learning these ATL skills along the way, they can figure out how to make it happen. So once they enter high school, it starts to look a little bit different in that there's simply more choice. So this is a student who would have studied Mandarin in not only 6th grade, but chose to study in 7th and 8th grade. And then in high school, they continue to study Mandarin. They're going to take a test, or their test scores will help us determine if they're going to be in French 3 or French 4. But typically our students in the freshman year have very similar classes. There's not a lot of leveling, in the sense that we have found that our students do best if they're in a classroom where they see kids at all different levels and can work with kids at all different levels. And then as they grow to the diploma program, there's much more choice. And this is the program where students have the potential to earn college credit, definitely get well prepared for college, and participate in the rigorous and prestigious IB diploma. So that schedule, this would be maybe a typical IB diploma schedule, is a rigorous one for sure. The first 3 classes listed here, the English, the French B, the history, these are all taught at a higher level. So the student would have chosen these courses to take at the higher level. Then the math, environmental systems and societies, and visual arts are the standard level courses. And that helps create a balance, but also allows for students to have a say in their interests and what they want to emphasize. And you'll also note there's a theory of knowledge class that is a requirement of the diploma program. Visual arts as the arts focus, and the well-loved academic extension, which our students have to use to help with studying, to get help from teachers. If there's an online class that needs to be taken, we have that also built in the schedule, particularly for our older students who are taking on the IB diploma. So we thought it would be nice for you to see a quick video of 2 of our students who earned the IB bilingual diploma, and were able to show proficiency, show bilingualism in French, and are attending university in Paris. 2 different students, 2 different schools. You can trust us when I say they're really enjoying Paris.
Vivian went to, where did she go, Nanterre?
Yes.
Vivian went to study psychology at the University of Nanterre, and Toby went to study film at a film school in Paris. So they both were able to pass this test you have to take to show that you're truly proficient in reading, writing, and speaking in French, because the French universities won't let you attend unless you score at a fluent, native speaker level. But they were able to do that, which is amazing. obviously because of their immersion experience in elementary and middle school, but then because they went on and took the IB diploma program classes, not just French acquisition, but French literature classes. So they were reading the same level of rigor in terms of the novels as you would in your 12th grade English class in high school, but they were reading them in French and writing essays that were just as extensive and analytical about those French novels or nonfiction texts as you would in English class. So it's truly an English, it's like a French native speaker's, English class, if that makes sense. So they were able to go to Paris to go to college, and let me tell you, it's a lot cheaper. It's not super cheap to live in Paris, obviously, but the tuition to attend those French universities is a couple of $1,000s. So they've really been appreciative of that. So if you're interested in that, in the 11th grade year is when you start taking those language tests to make sure that the French universities feel good about your language skills. And so we were able to help them accomplish that goal. And I think that's going to be a life-changing thing for both of them. And they definitely couldn't have done it without their experiences at, Academy Lafayette the whole way through. So.
My name is Vivian, and I graduated from ALIHS in 2024. I'm currently living in Paris, France, and attending University Paris-Nanterre, getting a bachelor's degree in psychological sciences. I'm gonna be honest, applying to French universities for Americans is not the easiest process, but my teachers and counselors at AL made it a lot easier. I definitely owe ALIHS for encouraging me to pursue a different approach to college, to branch out and really look at all my options. It was really nice to be on my own timeline, and they also made sure that I had like a backup plan and letters of recommendation. I really felt like they set me up for success. I know my IB diploma definitely helps me get into the university that I'm currently attending because I was conditionally accepted, so I wouldn't even be able to be here if it weren't for my IB diploma. I feel like I'm ahead in knowing how to manage my workload, and I'm really lucky that the IB diploma set me up on all of these skills that make college much easier. After living here for a few months and navigating the French university system, I feel a lot more independent. I've learned a lot, and my French has definitely improved. I'm super lucky that I chose ALIHS and got that IB diploma.
Hello, my name is Toby, and I graduated from ALIHS in 2024 with an IB bilingual diploma. I am now attending the international program at Ezra, which is a film school in Paris, France. Some ways ALIHS helped me get here include the film class, where I had a lot of creative freedom and access to equipment because of the small class size. This was instrumental in building my portfolio, and it's how I got into film school. The International Baccalaureate Diploma was also a major help. It's recognized internationally, and it's a major achievement that helped open doors for me at American and French film schools. Paris has been incredible. The food, the museums, the concerts I've been to are amazing. I'm really enjoying my time here outside of university. The French classes at ALIHS really helped reinforce the French I already knew and prepared me for living a day-to-day life here. Many other students at my university have completed some form of higher education already, or some even have degrees. And it's my opinion that the International Baccalaureate Diploma really prepared me in the same way that they've been prepared for this college level workload. The film class at ALIHS also helped prepare me for filmmaking. I had a lot of opportunities to get familiar with applications and equipment that some people have never used before. Also, the concerts in Paris are dope. If an artist does an international tour, they come to Paris. So.
If you had the pleasure of ever getting to know Toby, you would know that was very much on brand for him. And he's definitely...
That whole video probably took him like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
He just produces things, so. Yeah. Okay. All right, so that's a good segue into college and career readiness, of which that is my department. We try to do quite a bit to prepare students to hone in on their career goals and their college goals and be successful in the college search and application process. And so we start talking about this as early as 10th grade. In 11th grade, we take students on a college tour. I want to see new places. So every year we've gone in a different direction. So most recently we went south. We went to Drury University in Springfield, which has an automatic, very generous scholarship for any student who isn't even an IB diploma candidate, which means that they're in pursuit of the IB diploma. So we enjoyed that. We also visited Missouri State and University of Arkansas, but every year we go, we'll probably have to start repeating soon, but we go in a different direction each year and give students the opportunity to see what a small private school looks like, what a large public school looks like, a mid-sized school, and that helps frame our conversations going forward. Because even if they're not interested in those particular schools, it helps us have a point of reference to say, I kind of like the feel of this, and what are some schools that match that similar vibe. So throughout high school, we prepare them for college. One thing that's wonderful about our school being small and really an intimate place is that we have a lot of flexibility. So students have a lot of say in their course selection. We can make changes as needed for them because they have this access to me and their teachers, and we're constantly evaluating what's best for them and trying to adjust accordingly, and that's just a real benefit of a small school. We encourage extracurricular involvement. I mentioned earlier we even build it into our school day. We help them build resumes and find internships in the summer, which I think is very important in high school. I do bi-weekly group meetings with them starting in 11th grade where we start searching and honing our list of colleges. And we do financial aid workshops for parents and college information sessions for parents and families. And then in senior year, I harass them every single week because they need to apply by November 1st. That is the ideal time to apply to get the most scholarship money. Another opportunity we have for students is when they have completed the middle years program at the end of 10th grade, they can choose to take just some of those International Baccalaureate Diploma Program courses. And at the same time, because it's not going to take up their whole schedule, did you guys notice that if you do the full IB diploma, you have to do those diploma program courses all day long, like 7 of them? So there's no time for this if you choose that path, but we have other paths available. One of them is going to Manual Career and Technical Center, and so that is a program for students. They go in the morning, and they get career and technical education, and then they come to Academy Lafayette in the afternoon to take some IBDP classes as well as other classes in their core subjects. And so this is a program for 11th and 12th graders only, and so you can see the list there of some of the programs that they choose between. We have students in automotive collision and technology. Last year we had construction. This year we have cosmetology. Culinary arts is very popular. They love it. And we also have students that are getting EMT certifications. And last year we had someone go directly into the water department, and I will not even tell you how much money this student is making with no college education, but having this really rigorous water management program at Manual Tech. So we work with students in 10th grade. Miss Katie and I will start meeting with students tomorrow. We're going to start meeting them tomorrow to start talking to them about, okay, you're in 10th grade now. This is a little bit of a fork in the road. Are you thinking of doing the full IB diploma? Are you interested in doing some career and technical education at Manual Tech? Are you interested in taking just some of those IB diploma program classes because you have other priorities and you want to try to help them come up with a schedule and a plan that really matches their personal interests, their career goals. So those are just some things to keep in mind when you're thinking about your student way down the road for many of you, as I see lots of my 5th grade friends here. All right. Questions?
Okay, yeah.
Before we bring up our panelists, I'm wondering what questions you guys might have about the middle or high school experience. Yes, Rachel.
For middle school, do you guys have separated or leveled math classes, or does everybody take the same math all through middle school?
About half of our 8th graders take Algebra 1, and the rest take 8th grade math. If you take 7th grade too. Oh yeah, just a little, I'm sorry. Okay, so in 7th grade, you're going to start to see some differentiation when it comes to their preparation, because some students are ready for Algebra 1 in 8th grade. Not every student is ready. Because you don't, yeah, you're a math guru. You should know. She's in charge of the math club at elementary level. Yes. So, but I'm elaborating more for everyone's edification. So then when they come into high school, some of them go straight into geometry, whereas other ones are taking Algebra 1 in 9th grade, I'm sorry. But we have math tracks set up so that students can still get the IB diploma with either starting point. So it doesn't exclude you from doing it. We just might move at a slightly slower pace at the beginning there. Other questions? Yes.
So you mentioned a couple times the dual credit opportunities and the college credits they can earn. The only one that I've seen so far in the booklet is French. Are there other dual credit classes that you offer, and what college do you partner with for them?
Yeah, we do.
So we have in the past done dual credit, which means with UMKC for French, which means that you get a college transcript that you can take with you from high school and give it to your college that you end up going to. But for the most part, we don't do that because we are following the IB curriculum, and a lot of times it doesn't perfectly align with the college syllabus that they want you to follow in order to get that dual credit. And also we don't necessarily need to, because if students score, a 4 or a 5 out of what?
7.
So you're going to take a test at the end of your IB end of your IB class, and students scoring 4 or above out of 7 will, similar to like when I took AP classes in high school, you take that to your college registrar's office, and they're like, okay, this gets you credit for 101 and 201 of, this literature, French, all those core subjects. So students are coming in oftentimes as sophomores because they have so much credit that they're getting from taking those IBDP college level classes. You can, as we get students into this college search process, we'll have them go ahead and look up the charts that are available on every university's website, which explain, because every college likes to do it differently. It's not like a uniform thing. Depending on the class and depending on your score, this is how many credits you get, and these are the exact classes that you'll get to place out of as a result of having taken these classes. So it's kind of like, did anybody take AP classes in high school? So it's kind of like taking AP all day, you know what I mean? Maybe some of you didn't even do IB in high school? No, so bunch. Yeah, okay. Someone did?
So as a follow-up question,
Yes.
so they'll award you those credits for free if you pass those classes?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
And our school pays for the students to take the classes.
I was gonna ask, that's cost money, the AP has cost money.
Yeah, Mr. Mbang pays for those. Were there any other questions? Did you have a question? No.
She was an IB
Oh, yay! Good for you. All right.
recipient.
Any other questions before we bring up our panel? Yes.
I have a question about just readiness of the elementary kids now that they've been through the pandemic, and are you noticing any difference, like as they enter middle school? Are they still as ready as they were pre-pandemic? And so we had several years of online learning, and
Yeah.
how is the middle school adjusted that?
I mean, that's a really good
Dr. Paul? She was asking about elementary school readiness for middle school. What do we think?
That's Mr. Bear.
Here he comes. Oh, no.
That's the big boss. He knows all the data.
Hello, bonsoir. So what we've developed, what is called the college readiness, which just showed the Korean college readiness for high school. That's what we try to cascade down all the way to kindergarten to make sure it's aligned. And what we're tracking now, and our teachers have what's called classroom data, and that classroom data is color-coded. We're trying to work to make sure those kids are ready for third grade, develop a third grade readiness, and a sixth grade middle school readiness. So what we're doing is have a meeting 3 times a year between the 5th grade and the 6th grade team to get what they need to be ready for 6th grade. So that's what we're doing, so they can get feedback from 6th grade at the beginning of the school year and meet again to make sure that they know how to get this 5th grade ready for 6th grade. So we're working on that and making sure that, again, as I said, what are the main skills and competencies we want the kids to be ready. Kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade for 3rd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade for 6th grade, And sixth grade middle school is called by DESI high school readiness. DESI developed, of course, career and college and career readiness, high school readiness, and kindergarten readiness. So what we are trying to fill is the third grade readiness and this middle school readiness. We've developed that to make sure the kids are better prepared. So mainly, the issue is mainly organizational. Because if you come from elementary school to middle school, now you change, everything is changing. You're having geographical change, but also classroom and so on. That's what we want to make sure those kids are ready for that. So it's a constant work to make sure they're ready to move forward. That's what we do. Thank you.
And what will be the markers that those kids are ready?
So, example I give for third grade readiness, talk about French competence, English competence to get third grade, and also social emotional. We're looking into for middle school readiness is academic, the academic competencies for the core subject. So as I told you, we're doing a kind of color coding in where they are and following kids who are behind and how to support them for the, go to the next level. We're tracking the NWX scores, the MAP scores, but also the grade levels by quarter, and seeing what. Yes, the advanced STEM too. So we're also developing to look at social emotional skills, but also especially organizational skills. That's where we need to work on because especially boys, when they come to middle school, sometimes they have problem with organization, and that's what we need to start develop then. So that's the work we're doing. We had a first meeting, I think what was it in January. We'll have a meeting, another one with the fifth, sixth grade team this month, and another one at the end of the school year to make sure we're tracking, so that the sixth grade team, you know what's happening in fifth grade, and see how to get it ready. That's what we're doing. Sorry, I took a lot of time, but explaining that college career readiness at 12th grade is not enough because we want to track how well are kids ready, and then how do we bring it down to middle school, to elementary school, and to third grade.
Thank you. All right.
I just have two really quick questions. One, is there any kind of entrance exam to the high school? Okay. Two,
Wait, no. No.
The answer is no.
Okay, fantastic. What percentage of students are in the vocational program versus the diploma program in the higher levels?
We, of the 11th and 12th graders, there are 10 of them in the career and technical education program, and I don't know how many DP candidates?
9. 9 in senior and 7 in the 11th grade. Yeah.
So we have a higher percentage of students that do the full diploma than do career and technical education. And we also have students that don't do either one. They do just some of those diploma program classes. Because you can take just some of your classes to college and get college credit for those, right? You don't have to do one in every single subject area, if that makes sense.
More the AP model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked about AP too much. You probably don't like that. Yes, Liz.
How big are high school classes right now, and what is the? I know you have room to grow in the high school, right? What is the cap on class size?
Well, we've never had to develop a cap at this yet, but we have some classes that are as small as like 4 students, like our
Physics?
yeah.
Physics class?
Some of our really higher level science classes, or like our International Baccalaureate film class is a little bit smaller, but then some freshman classes might have 21 students in them. We've never gotten, higher than the low 20s, so we haven't really developed a cap yet, but maybe at some point that's going to happen. But I know the kids love the small classes. Sometimes they come and be like, this school is small, but within a few months, they're like, I love it here. I have so much community. I know my teachers so well. The kids are generally so nice to each other. It's like a dream as a counselor to see how well they navigate their relationships with each other. So the small is actually something that they'll end up saying that they really like, even if at first you might hear some complaints. Any other questions? Well, we're going to let you actually ask questions of our panel. Robin, do you want to introduce our panelists?
Okay, so we're going to see. So this.
Okay, so here's our panel. Where are my teacher parents? Come on. Miss Huber, Miss Golden, come on down, come on down. Have a few parents up here too. So Miss Huber is double. She's a teacher in the high school. She is the journalism teacher for this semester. I was last semester. Okay. and she also has a son attending the high school. Miss Golden has a sixth grader, a come on, I missed a year. Seventh grader attending, so we're going to add her in as well. Jeff, can you bring another chair for me? And then Jeff, you can bring a chair for you as well. He's representing the sports athletics department, and so we have some athletes up here as well if you want to ask those questions too. All right, so I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, tell us what grade you're in, and if you're in middle school, what do you like best about the middle school? And if you're in high school, what do you like best about the high school? All right, we're going to start here.
My name is Paisley. I'm a sophomore, and I love the class sizes because they're not too small, but you get good opportunity to ask the questions you need. So yeah.
My name is Emily. I am a sophomore in high school, and what I like about high school is definitely kind of like what she said earlier. I like the small community. I'm definitely really close with a lot of people, and like she said, I'm definitely getting the questions that I have asked. Since we're in a smaller group, I'm getting more paid attention to more.
I'm Mackenzie. I'm in the 9th grade, and my favorite thing about high school is how small the classes are and how easy it is to talk to Madam Seeley whenever we need to.
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm in 7th grade, and I like how we meet new people from like the other schools when Oak and Cherry combined into Armour. Hi, I'm Nora. I'm also in 7th grade. What I like is how, not to brag, but our school is pretty smart. I like how I'm always feeling challenged to do better in my classes.
My name is Amina. I'm a junior in high school, and my favorite thing is definitely our teachers. They're really willing to help you with anything and everything at all.
My name is Silas. I'm a sophomore in high school, and my favorite thing is all the different opportunities for clubs and extracurriculars, and you can be involved in so many things at once and really succeed in them.
My name is Yazi. I'm a senior, and my favorite thing is kind of similar to Silas's. I really like the opportunity, especially as a young school, to get involved in all those extracurriculars as leaders, to start your own clubs, a lot of things like that.
I'm Asher. I'm a freshman. I'd say I like a lot about the school, but my favorite part is just the classes that we take, because I've been to a lot of schools, but this has classes I've never taken before, like journalism, manual tech. All of it's really interesting and great for new people.
My name is Zahara. I'm in 7th grade, and I think my favorite thing is probably how a lot of the kids in our grade are friends, and like there's not like much bullying at all.
My name is Evan. I'm in 8th grade. One thing I like is the sports programs. Our sports are really good.
My name is Luca. I'm in the 7th grade, and my favorite thing is there's a lot of clubs like band, gardening, and there's not a lot of bullying like Sahara.
My name is Milani, and my favorite thing is like how everybody can just get together and it's a safe space.
Thank you, panel. All right, I'm going to give it to the parents, and I forgot to mention another parent, Whitney. She has a high schooler here as well. So I'm going to start with you. Tell me why you chose for your kids to come here.
Hey, my name is Whitney. I have a freshman at the high school. I also do have a 5th grader. And, I think the reason why, so Amelia got to choose the school herself, but the reason why as parents we were big proponents for it were really, I am a huge fan of the IB program. My background is college admissions. I did it for 15 years. I cannot say enough about knowing her going through the program. She is going to be extremely prepared to go into any school or program that she chooses to. And I'm a huge proponent of the size and everything that the students have said when Amelia comes home and says that her questions have been able to be answered, and she's meeting people easily, and she's been able to get involved so easily in sports and other extracurricular activities. It's been a tremendous fit for her.
My name is Jackie, and I have a 7th grader. We chose the school because of the language part of it, of course. But I do like the fact that the classes are smaller. She's met some really, really awesome friends. Charlotte, we've been to your house a few times. But we love it, and we're going to do the high school, I can say that.
Hi, I'm Karen, and Asher is my son, and he actually went to a different school for middle school, and so we chose this school because we live in the area and we really wanted to be involved in a school that was really connected to the local community, but also we lived overseas for 14 years, and the IB program is, you know, renowned around the world, and many universities, like the ones we heard about in Paris, honor so much of that curriculum and program. And so just knowing that it gives him more options as he grows up, even now with the sports and clubs and with coach and things that he's able to be involved in that he wouldn't have been involved in before. It's just been a great way. Because it's small, every kid has the opportunity to explore what they want to do. If they have a curiosity about it, they're encouraged to go and discover if it's for them.
Definitely. It's been a privilege being a part of this school the past 3 years. 3 years ago, I wasn't sure what I was getting into. I know that there was a wonderful middle school athletic program, and I wanted to bring that to the high school as well. And over the years, we've really grown the athletic program department and the programs in there. I coach cross country and track, and I help out with other athletic teams as well, like basketball. So I encourage you to ask all the questions that you need about not only sports, but the other extracurricular activities. We have wonderful students here that are involved in a lot of different activities in student life. It's very enriching for them, and it's a pleasure being a part of that.
All right, does anyone have any questions for our panel? Yes.
What are some of the extracurricular activities for middle
Okay, well, last year I did track, and one thing that I really liked about the track team is that it's really fun, even if you don't get to go to a lot of meets. Like, the practices are so fun. A lot of kids do it, so you always have like a friend. When I was in 6th grade, I tried out for volleyball for the first time, and I met a lot of new people on that team, and they became some of my closest friends. And I did the same in 7th grade, and my friends were still there, and I made even more. I think we also have like math club. I'm personally not in math club, but I know a lot of kids like it. I think Luca's in band, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so in band we perform at assemblies and it's super fun. You can just practice. I feel bad for the teachers that have to like just listen to us yell at each other for trying to pick a song, but yeah, it's super fun. So
Do you want to go ahead and say like what you're involved in?
So in 6th grade, and part of this year, I was in cheer, and that was pretty fun. So we sort of just like spent a lot of time just practicing, and then at the end of the time of cheer, we do like this performance, and we sort of choreograph it ourselves sometimes, and it's pretty fun. I recommend it.
So I do the cross country and track program. They're both very good. Our head coach, Coach Brenda, she's great. The cross country program, the girls have won state 4 times in a row, and it's the 3-time, and the boys have won 3 times in a row, and we've won the city championship every time we've gone to it. So, yeah.
you're involved in.
Well, for in the high school, I can talk about extracurriculars. So personally, I'm involved in a lot of different things, including theater. A lot of you guys have probably seen our plays for the past 2 years. That's a ton of fun. Debate is also extremely fun. We get to compete with a ton of other Kansas City metro area schools, including St. Teresa's Academy, Center, and a whole bunch of other high schools. Model United Nations, which is somewhat similar to debate, but a lot more intensive. What else? Oh, the newspaper. We started the newspaper in our freshman year, and that's been growing ever since. A lot of opportunity in that. And we publish almost anything. We've done art. We'll give you a platform for anything you want to say as a student. We've done art, we've done comics, photography, paintings, opinion pieces, news, obviously. But yeah, there's so much opportunity to even start your own clubs. I was talking about that earlier, especially being such a young school. There's always a need for more clubs, and it's extremely easy to start your own, and it's a lot of fun.
Some more clubs. I'm in every club he just listed, as well as the student council. We have elections at the beginning of every year. It's really fun, and then we organize events for the high school, do fundraisers, things like that. There's many new clubs that we've had this year and last year, like Recess Club. That's a great one. That's really popular. There's a cooking club with our Chinese teacher, Madam Shu. We cook a lot of really good food. There is an American Sign Language Club. Do you know any other clubs?
We also have a key club, so a community service club. So really anytime you need community service hours, you can just show up and ask them what's going on, and then they'll just give you a project to do. We also have a girls volleyball team, which I'm a part of. It's grown a lot in recent years. We've won a lot more games, and it's getting a lot better. It's getting better every year.
I'm also in a good amount. They said I do student council, newspaper too, recess club, definitely one of my favorite clubs, and key club, which is really nice. We get to help around the community, which is great. I think. Oh, sorry. I think student council is good, specifically for a fact I wasn't sure about running for student council, and Madam Seeley gave me a chance to just go into the club, see what I can be a part of in case I want to run for it this semester or next year, which I think is great. I do track and cross country for sports. Coach Mendenhall is a great guy. He's really good. Helps us improve because sports helps not just for your physical health, your mental health, which definitely has benefited a lot of students too, which I think is great.
We also have movie club. It's a lot smaller. Not a lot of people go, but it's a ton of fun. Our film teacher who does movie club has a ton of real life. He was in the TV industry for I don't know how many decades. So in New York, yeah, he worked with WWE for a long time. Die Hard, he worked on Die Hard. Which one of the biggest highlights I think of the school is the diversity of the teachers and also the experience that they have. I mean, he was in TV for decades. Your mom did journalism. And the teachers are just some of the most amazing people we've ever met from all over the world. And it's the same case for the middle school and the elementary school. It's throughout the entire school, but that's one of the things I really do love about the school.
So I'm in the middle school student council. I really like it. We get to plan a lot of events for the middle school. We get to plan spirit weeks and the dances. I think we have the spring dance and the Halloween dance. And it's really fun. It's kind of, a lower level student council to prepare to do student council in high school and stuff. We forgot to mention, but we also have really good basketball teams. Our girls have won a lot of games, and we also have gardening club, which takes place after school with
the student counselor, Mr. In the high school, we also have RAC, which is Random Acts of Kindness. It's one of my favorite clubs. It's so fun. It's such a nice community. I have a bunch of friends who do it with me. We do stuff called rack attacks. We come down with the mascot and a bunch of candy, and we give it out to all the students. During finals week, we gave candy canes because it's supposed to help with studying. And then for the cross country team, I have made so many of my closest friends on that team. It's such a great way to just immediately have that bond whenever you enter high school. I've gone to state twice for cross country, so Benjamin is great at coaching. We've had a few people go to state for track too, so.
And again, any questions? Yes.
So I have a question for the high school kids here. Students, sorry. Presumably, this is a big city, and you probably have friends who go to other high schools. How would you compare your experience to theirs? I know class sizes, I know you have a lot of activities, but you talk to them, and what do they like about theirs that maybe you wish they had more of here, or what do you like better about yours that you don't, that they don't have? Does that make sense? Yeah. Just trying to understand the comparison.
So I have a lot of friends that left middle school and went to other schools like Lincoln and places like that. And one of the main things that they like one of my best friends, her name is Rory. One thing that she liked was the bigger community. And I think we all agree, most of us agree at least, that our smaller community, it helps focus and hone in more on like our specific, interests. And since Lincoln, for example, is like a bigger school, even though they do have like specific things for them to hone in on their interests, I feel like ours is better because, for example, our counselors, they're very involved and they really want to focus on helping us and making sure we get where we want to go in life. And honestly, I think we're better in that aspect. No shade, no shade, no shade. I definitely think we're better in like the focusing on the students personally and academically aspect on that.
I definitely agree with Emily about the connections with teachers. From what I've heard at other schools, just with the huge class sizes, they definitely don't have the same type of relationships with the teachers that we do. I just agree that you can really get to know them and they really want to help you succeed. And that's really beneficial at our high school. One thing that other high schools might have, or that I've heard have more of than ours, for example, would be in the high school specifically. The middle school is doing very well in sports, but the high school isn't completely developed yet. For example, this year we didn't get to have soccer, which I know at other high schools and my friends are able to play soccer, so that is one thing we don't have. But the way our sports have been developing, I think, is really positive. Considering how fast we've grown and are able to, for example, in cross country and track, send kids to state. I think the first time was last year. We did this year and last year. So we're still doing well, but again, we don't have as many sports or the same facilities that other schools might have.
Yeah, when I went to Crossroads last year, especially with like the big school that they had, teachers got overwhelmed a lot with the amount of people, amount of grades, and they were behind sometimes. So here it's great because not just like the teachers, not just the students, but the teachers are doing really well too, which makes all of us perform a lot better, which I think is great for our school.
And I would just like to clarify, the middle school it's mostly the high school that doesn't have the same things. The middle school wins everything. I would like to point out that the middle school soccer team as well is very good. They win city championships almost every year, boys and girls. They're very good. So are the cross country teams, track. We win everything. So the middle school is the best at sports. It's just the high school is less developed than the middle school.
Push them up, push them up.
Something about our school that other schools don't really have is, for example, if you need an extension on a due date, you can email a teacher and they'll respond to you normally pretty fast and typically give you that extension that you need. At a lot of other schools, you aren't going to get that because they have so much work they have to do and they have to stay caught up because of how many students there are. But since we don't have that huge community, you have way more flexibility with deadlines, and I love that about our school. So.
Kind of back to what Silas said about how fast our high school is developing, I feel like that's really amazing because when we say our high school is developing, it's mostly developing on the interests and like all the stuff that we want to do as students. And we're getting more teachers to like help with certain subjects that we might not have. Where like our sports has definitely grown a whole bunch. Like our girls team on the track team has tripled in size. Cross country, well, they've always been good, so we ain't gotta, we don't have to get into that. But like ever since last year when I was a freshman, I could definitely see the growth in like all of the new things and amazing things, mind you, they're really cool that we have begun to achieve. And like all the new students, like for example, Mackenzie, all the new students, I feel like I'm so happy that we're getting more attention. We're getting more out there to the point where a lot of new students, they're coming to our school and especially the high school, because the high school was really small and now we have a lot of new kids and new friends. And I'm pretty sure you felt pretty comfortable when you first came, right? We love and welcome our new students, and I feel like the community is really great on that.
Thank you for that. And yes, we're growing the community and we need our middle school to move on up and stay with us so we can keep our soccer team winning. And since they brought it up, I will say I did have experience previously in some of the schools that they mentioned before, and I did have a class about 36 to 40 students. I'm a big person on communication, so I would make sure that I communicated with all my students, but yes, I have been in the classroom with large class size. Oh, yes.
I just wanted to ask quickly about the French, how French has gone, and if you're in middle school, has it been really challenging switching from elementary to, or if you're in high school, how's it going?
People were asking earlier how the jump from fifth to sixth, if it was hard or easy. I think it is. I think your teachers help you with French along the way, and it gets more hard as the year goes on. But they make sure you're up to speed, and if you have a question, you can just ask them. And if you don't understand something, there are many people you can ask, like teachers and friends. And it's the work matches the French level.
Well, I was going to say, since we've been learning since kindergarten, the French is, or some of us, the French is pretty easy. Like when you meet someone like, wow, you can speak French. Personally, to me, it's like, yeah, like you can. I think the French also helps with our other subjects because we have to learn it all in French and we also have to know it in English, so it just really implants it in our brains. That's it. So I feel like the jump was pretty easy. I wasn't at AL for my 5th grade year, but so when I came back, I felt like it was pretty easy. Like all my teachers were like the work was not easy, but it was, how do I put this? I was able to readjust quickly because of like how small our community is, and like I could ask, like I felt comfortable asking for help if I ever needed anything, and I felt like emailing our teachers is like a really accessible thing. Like if I ever had a question on homework or anything, I can email my teachers.
I obviously can't speak on the 5th to 6th grade transition anymore. I don't. But what I will say is when I was going into high school, it was right at the tail end of COVID, that 8th grade to 9th grade year. And I think that definitely just made it more challenging for everyone just because of the circumstances. And the high school teachers, the staff made it so easy and really, pretty much what she said. Everyone is there for you with the small community in the high school. all the teachers, all the staff are able to give you a personalized experience and cater to your needs. And I feel like that's the same throughout the entire school, not just the high school. But that's what I can speak on.
Any more questions? Let's make sure. Yep, so we got more questions. Let's ask. Go ahead.
I'm curious how the size of the middle school, like the current sixth grade class, compared to the eighth grade class, and then what size are the classrooms?
Sixth grade size. I should know this, but 160. We've been at 160 for sixth grade. 116. What are the class size? 19 to 23. Okay. All right. There was another question. Yes.
For like the soccer girl teams for middle school, do you find it really time consuming if any of you do it?
I played girls soccer in middle school, which was a long time ago, but I assume since by the fact that they're still winning, I assume not much has changed. But it wasn't really that time consuming. It was really just like a couple times a week. And a lot of the girls on the team were on like 2 to 3 teams as well. Like the soccer team also played for Brookside, and then a lot of people had their competitive teams as well. So people were playing on 3 teams, and you still had time to manage all of them and do track at the same time. So it's not really that time consuming.
All right. I know there's a question back here. Go ahead with your question.
Can you repeat the question, please? What's the question?
High school. Do you have high school girls soccer?
So last year we had a co-ed soccer team and we played on a Brookside team. I played on that team and I had so much fun. This year we are working on, I think, developing a soccer team. But this year we didn't have a girls specific soccer team, but last year we had a co-ed one that was really good.
Katie?
I was going to say, there is one student in particular, here, who's working on getting a co-ed soccer team this spring again. Kids had a lot of fun doing that. We just kind of made it a mission to make it happen so that something can continue.
All right. So we're going to conclude. Thank you.